Hello everyone. Hello to all the audience watching us and also to all the Zeliangrong people. I'm Gracy Newme and I will be the interviewer for today, and it's our 12th ZNSP interview, and we have here is Mr. Namgui KC, and he is a very senior musician instructor and also a very famous singer, a musician and a composer. And also he is a very great writer as well. So let's welcome him, and then please tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Gracie, for hosting this interview. And thank you so much, the Zeliangrong artists, group, the admins, and all this Malaysian and all these people for giving me this opportunity to be part of this interview. Actually, at first, in fact, try not to get involved in this, saying that I'm not worthy enough to be here, but since giving me the opportunity, thank you so much, and I'll try to share some of my experiences throughout this journey. My name is, my full name is Namgui Lung and Kang Sian, but in short, people knows me by the name Namgui KC. Right now I'm in Pune, and I'm teaching in a Symbiosis International School. I'm teaching Western music, and I am teaching as well as I'm still learning music, all sorts of instruments, keyboard, guitar, and drums and all. And I do write some songs and I perform sometimes. So yeah, that's all about myself.
Okay, it's so nice to hear you. And I'm really glad and we are so excited that you agreed for this interview. So now we'll start with the question and the answer round. So your first question would be, what inspired you to be a musician in your early musical journey?
I have to say that in our community back there at home, music has been the only thing which we showed them playing the instruments and singing and all in church or in school. So I got more of the inspiration from the church, because whenever I go to the church, especially during this vacation Bible school and all, the VBS, during the time I saw some of my seniors who are teaching songs and all the stuff. They play instruments and they're singing, and I used to start fancying them about oh, how nice it could be if I could do the same, standing up on a stage, playing guitar and sing. Probably the source of inspiration comes from the church, where we started singing songs and playing some instruments from there.
Okay, so what are the hardships that you face in this field?
Music is it's a very vast field, and you know the competition is very tough all across the world, not just in our place. But since the development of this new technology and all, everybody has too much access to the internet and to the social media. It's like every day there has been producing new stuff. So to compete with them and to survive, this is the hardship that we face in this line of work, in this line of profession. It's not just about our local area thing, but it's all across the world, and we face this competition. If you're not good, or if you're not being loved by people, then you cannot survive this profession.
Exactly. Yeah. So can you describe some of the toughest situation you have faced while working for the song?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Actually, the first original song that I ever wrote was back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That was the very song that I released in 2018 or 2018, yes, back there in Delhi when I collaborate with some of the Zeliangrong artists in Delhi, and we released my first original song, Zeliangrong-Ringtelo. That was the first song that I ever wrote, and the hardship is that when you write a song, it should sound original, it should be very authentic, and it should be different from others. I mean, there are too many songs around the world now, and if your song is not different from others, people are not interested to listen to. So creating that difference and putting up the tune and lyrics together, that's the real hardship, creating a song.
And that's how you create everything, and that's your talent. I'm really glad to know. So my another question is, being a musician, what do you enjoy the most?
There's nothing like being on stage. If you are not a musician and if you have never been performing on a stage, then you'll never experience the excitement of how you felt at that very moment. I don't know how to express it. Sometimes it's even better than a girl saying yes to your proposal. It's even better. Being on a stage to perform, and then with a set of song list that you have prepared with your band, and you're about to perform. You walk out the stage, and people are cheering, and you're about to start performing. That very moment is the best thing about musician.
I wish I could feel those, feelings, but I guess not on mine. So my next question is, would you share your experience with artists while collaborating a song?
I haven't collaborated much with other artists yet. I have done it with some few, and of course I have jammed together with many different artists from different parts of India, in fact. So the experience is that every musician has a very unique way of expressing themselves, and we learn from one another when we get together. So even I am a musician, but I have my own ways, and the other person will have also their own ways. So when we get together and collaborate with one another, we learn from one another, and that improves the skills to perform better in the events.
Yeah, that's right. So, would you like to share about any unforgettable performances of yours?
I have quite a few, but I think the very first one was the real excitement about performing that I felt was back in the year 2010 when I was in Shillong doing college. Our hostel hosted a concert with one band from Nagaland, a band name called UDX, meaning Under the Cross. So this UDX, the previous name was Dementia. They were previously not a gospel band, but they have converted into a gospel band, and they were for some kind of promoting tour around the Northeast India. So we called this band, and our hostel hosted this concert. So being the host of it, we are being given the privilege to open up for them.
Okay.
So our hostelers, we group up about 5-6 of us, and then we form a band, instant band together, and we performed in front of before the band, like as an opener. And that was the very first experience that I felt in a real big concert, because the stage is huge and the light setup, the smoke, and all these instruments and the sound systems as tall as 2 stories buildings, and the sound itself, when you just say hello, that like you can feel the vibrations around it, and that was something that I experienced and never could forget about it until today.
That's a very adventure experience. So what was your parents' reaction, like when you chosen music as your career?
Actually, my parents of course, everyone's parents want their children to become an officer or a government employee. That was very obvious from our people because we grew up from a very hard life of surviving. Um, I was I was being motivated with the same motives to become an officer and all. I did try for it, but everyone is not destined to become an officer. But being the dream of my parents, I tried to earn something working in a bank, or I did work in a school teaching a subject, political science, for about 2 years. But I knew that that was not something for me because I don't enjoy the work. I don't enjoy that kind of profession. So when uh, essentially when I gave up everything in the year 2017, I quit the job and I just booked a train ticket and marched on to Delhi without having any kind of promise from anyone, without even knowing where to stay. Actually, I don't even have much money. When I reached Delhi, I remember I have only 300 rupees in my pocket, and the journey was very difficult. My parents were so much against it because I I have to go to Delhi to pursue music, but they don't even know how will I'm going to survive in that city.
Yes.
But eventually, I find a place, and yeah. So, but lately they have come to realize that this is my line of work, and they've been okay with it, being supportive with it.
That's great. So now this is the interesting part, this question. What preparations do you make before your concerts or any live event?
Yeah. When say the very thing we do is some vocal warm-ups in the backstage. We don't want to strain our vocals before we start performing, but at the same time, we want the vocal to be already in smooth running condition, so that when you come up and then you don't chop up or nothing comes up to your vocal cord and that disturbs your free flow. And also, I work on my expression, how to do about it according to the songs with the lyrics. Particularly during this part of the song, I have to raise my hand, or I have to do this, or I have to do this. I prepare for that.
That's the really good question. You know, it's very lively to listen to this experience. So, what skills have you learned that will help you in stage performances?
Yeah. See, I have come a long way performing because I started performing when I was in high school, starting in a church, in a school. So it's like performing is like a wine. The more you do it, the better it becomes. So all these years, when you perform, from one performance you learn one lesson. So over all these years, a few things that I have learned is that first thing is never be overexcited about your performance. I mean, I know we prepare a good song list and we're gonna rock it. I know, but when you're overexcited, sometimes you go off tune and you don't even realize about it. And the second thing is to always be conscious about your pronunciation. Like when you're singing, make sure that your pronunciation is correct and people hear you when you sing. And the third, the last, the very important thing as well is that by heart the lyrics. If not, if you're not very sure about the lyrics, then you're gonna mess up the whole thing. Sometimes we compromise a little bit and we put some lyrics script in front of us and we try to sing it, but that actually ruins the performance.
Yes.
And everything.
What was your best way in learning music, and what is your memorable experience?
The best way to learn music, this will have different answers from different people. But according to me, the best way to learn is to really invest time on it. Without investing time on it, you cannot become a professional in anything. And also, you surround yourself with the same interest people. If you want to become a musician, then surround yourself with a good musicians. And because if your best friends are not into music, then eventually even your interest dies down, and like the dreams that you had once disappear. So the best way is to surround ourselves with good friends who have the same interests and same enthusiasm.
Okay. And how would you like to rate Zeliangrong in music comparing to other tribes?
Zeliangrong or plus Inpui, then we are a very big community, and we are in different states of the Northeast, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland, and but in spite of this big number and a lot of potentials on it, I must say that we need an update in our community.
Yeah.
I mean, we were great once, but once upon a time there was a great singer. Like for example, once upon a time there was Elvis Presley, but Elvis Presley's song was hit during the 1960s and 70s, but not in 2000 anymore. And our people needs to wake up a little bit in this kind of update, because Guru Zengam was great, and his songs will forever remain great. But if you try to recreate that kind of song at this hour, then people already have fell in love with Zengam, and they'll not accept you again. And you have to develop something new, updated one, so that people recognize as you, because you can't be someone else, and you can't be always singing someone else's song. You have to sing your own. You have to introduce yourself, your style to the people, and people have to fall in love with your style. We cannot stick to the old ways like forever. So our people have a lot of potential. They are very great musicians. There are a lot of good singers actually.
Yes.
But what I find is that they always sing the same type of song. They always sing this kind of song, which we have been listening for many generations now, and there's no change on it. So this, I want to suggest that there has to be some change. There has to be some kind of update in our musical production.
Yes. And me too. I hope like an artist like you, like a youngster growing up, to come up with a new idea, new creativity to upgrade more. That's what we all want to. So what is your best childhood memory?
Hard to recollect, but one I remember so well was that the very first time I learned how to play 3 chords of guitar. I learned that from one of my uncles, and that guitar was a local made guitar from Tamenglong, and the strings were not even real guitar strings. They just put up some, I don't know, steel wire, and then sometimes our fingers got hurt real bad. Like sometimes it bleeds, but because we have to press down like anything in order to sound to give out a sound from the guitar. But with that much hardship, I learned how to play 3 chords of guitar, and my uncle taught me to sing some few songs with those 3 chords. That was something that I find it very exciting. I even played in a church, and I sang it, and I think that's the best childhood memories that I have.
Okay. And what are your goals for the future?
Since I have chosen this line of profession, I want to excel myself to it. I wanted to become someone whom people willingly want to listen to my songs, to my music creation, whom people recognize my name. Just by hearing my name, people will remember my work. I want to have this kind of commendable milestone in music, where people recognize me as myself in the future.
Okay, so we have one last question for the conversation question part. So what message would you give to the viewers?
Yeah. See, our our viewers are very less compared to to different language spoken people, because even our tribe itself is a multilingual community. So the viewers, uh, from the people, from the viewers, we need a lot of support for the local artists. We need a love. We need support. Uh, we need encouragement from the people, but also we need good critics, uh,
Yes.
constructive criticism from the people, where we really say, we really find those people who are good to be appreciated, and those who are not good to be really, to give them really good critics so that they can improve themselves. Because
Yes.
our community has this kind of thing that whenever someone do something, we always tend to say, oh, very good. Even though she sings in flat, we say, oh, very good. And then we just clap our hands, because that is some kind of good manners that are being taught to us from a very childhood. But in this kind of music business, we need some good critics. Like if you're singing in flat, you have to say you're singing in flat, because without that, the artist cannot excel and improve himself in the future. If you just clap your hands for the
Exactly.
false notes that he is trying to play, then there will be no improvement and there will be no upgradation in him. So if there's a good thing, if there's something wrong with his performance, tell him directly in a good way that he may improve himself, work on it, and improve himself. Yeah, this is what the message. And if there's someone who is having a real talent, appreciate them, because our people sometimes, even if they're so good, then we find it really difficult to hit even the like button or subscribe button. We find it,
Exactly.
I don't know, is it because of jealousy, or is it because we don't care at all? But to an artist who's really struggling, if they're really good in it, just one of your like or one of your thumbs up mean a lot to them in their journey.
Yeah, it's really nice for you and for me to have this conversation. I hope the people watching us would learn a lot of things through this conversation. So now we'll be going for a second round, which will be a rapid questions. So it will be a first
Okay.
question and answer. Okay, the first question is, what is your favorite song?
Always by Bon Jovi.
Always. Okay. What are your hobbies?
Watching movies and playing football.
Okay. How do you start your day?
I start my day with a mobile phone,
What is
with
your
a
favorite
Facebook.
food? Your favorite food?
um, my, uh, Smoked pork with
Okay.
a rice.
What is your favorite drinks?
Favorite drinks? It's a beer.
Yeah, okay. What is your favorite band?
Dream Theater.
Okay. And what is your favorite animal?
A dog.
The country you wish to visit?
Switzerland.
Oh, sure. What is your favorite TV channel?
My favorite TV channel. I don't really watch TV channel. I do watch a lot of series. So Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Okay. What if I grant you one superpower?
Right?
Yes, one thing.
I'll ask for happiness.
Oh, okay. One thing that you like most in you?
The ability to see the uh, the hardship on someone.
Okay. And one thing that you don't like most in you?
Short-tempered.
Okay. If you could be any nationality, what would it be?
American, probably.
Okay. One childhood memory you missed the most?
Swimming on our local pond.
What is your favorite sports?
Football.
Okay. What is the first thing you notice about someone when you first meet?
The way they speak.
Okay. What is your favorite season? Favorite season?
Winter.
Okay.
Spring. I'm sorry.
Spring. 3 persons you wish to meet. 3 person you wish to meet.
3 persons. Like it could be celebrities.
Yeah, anyone.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that will be Russell Peters, a comedian,
Okay.
and John Petrucci, a guitarist,
Okay.
and John Bon Jovi himself.
Okay. So, who you love the most?
My mom.
Your mom. What are your goals for the future?
To be a responsible.
Okay.
To be a responsible dad.
Well, it was such a nice conversation with you. I mean, I'm really glad that I came across you and also very honored to have met you. I mean, there are very least people, you know, a very good instructor and also a musician. So I hope people who watch this video can learn a lot of things from you, and especially to the youngsters, the upcoming artists or the singers, anything they wish to, I hope they can go through the struggles that obviously we all face, and I hope everyone go up successfully. So I'm really thank you and thankful to have met you and to have known you. So I hope people keep supporting us and also keep upgrading things and see our content. And also I hope they find this content very relatable to everything. So thank you very much, Namgui.
Thank you so much, Gracie, for hosting me. Thank you.